Hi, this is Mr. Bowers here, and for today we're going to go over the DNA structure. So this is the DNA structure, about its form and a little bit about its function. So this is the DNA structure with the base pairs and the sugar phosphate background. So DNA stands for deoxyribonucleic acid. Its function is to store the genetic information for the cell. This information stored by all DNA in a cell is its genetic code. Each long strand of DNA has thousands of short segments called genes, and these genes code for specific traits in an organism. So here's the chromosome, which is the compacted DNA. So these are sister chromatids, if you remember, right here. And then a segment of it is what you consider a gene. So there's usually a stop codon and a stop codon, which we'll get to when we talk about translation and transcription. And so this gene right here might just code for eye color or hair color, so it'll know when it creates those proteins that it starts, let's say here, and it ends over here. So the shape of DNA. So the structure of DNA was discovered by James Watson and Francis Crick with considerable help from Rosalind Franklin. And now it says considerable help because there is some controversy with how much of her work was taken by James Watson and Francis Crick. Because this picture right here is a famous picture, um, picture 51, and there's actually a documentary about it, which you should watch. I'll provide that in the description below. And they believe that she definitely did take this picture, but it's an argument of whether how much of this, whether or not they would have been able to discover the structure of DNA without her picture. So the shape of DNA. So the DNA is double-stranded. Two strands twist around each other to form a double helix. Um, it looks like a twisted ladder, or I like to call it a twisted staircase, like one of those spiral staircases that go up that have the two handles, like the rails on the each side. The vertical rails are the sugar and phosphate backbone for the DNA, and the horizontal rungs are the nucleotide bases. So this right here, these blue that go down on each side, these are the rails, and this is a sugar and phosphate backbone. And then the nucleotides, which are these base pairs, nucleotide bases right here in the center between the two rails. So see, these kind of look like steps going up. Now each step is a pair of connected DNA nucleotides. So a nucleotide is this phosphate, this sugar, and then one of the base pairs. So here's another DNA nucleotide. It's a phosphate, a sugar, and a base pair. Now the step, which is talking about, is between these two, which is these two right here. So these two nucleotides make a step. So that's this right here. So this would be this strand, this would be this, and then these two would be represented by these right here. So these are the steps or rungs going up the DNA. Now DNA nucleotides, like I said, it consists of the sugar, the phosphate, and the base. Now there's 4 different type of nucleotide bases. You got iodine, thymine, guanine, and cytosine. Those are the 4 bases, and they pair together. So complementary base pairing. So what that means is that iodine will always pair with thymine, and guanine will always pair with cytosine. This won't pair with this, and this won't pair with this. This won't pair with this. This won't pair with this. And that's important because it helps keep the structure of the DNA. So the DNA needs to be even going all the way along it. And if this with a pair of this, or this to pair of this, then there's a possibility then the DNA would be look all, get narrow at some points and then super wide at other points, and that is not good. So here's our DNA structure again with our nucleotide base, our sugar deoxyribose, and our phosphate right here. Now, these three together are what make the nucleotide. So you got the nucleotide base, you got the sugar deoxyribose, and you got the phosphate. So, for example, you have the iodine right here, and then you have your sugar, your phosphate, which in turn would be a nucleotide. So that's it for the DNA structure. In the link below, I will attach the notes, the fill-in notes. I will also attach the worksheet that you can work on if you want to familiarize yourself with the structure of DNA and how it replicates. And I'll also be working on videos to provide a more in-depth look at the nucleotide bases, what their form and their structure look like, and the sugar deoxyribose and the phosphate, and things of that nature. Also, stay tuned for translation and transcription videos. If you have any questions, leave a comment, and I will answer them as soon as possible. Thank you.